Hi, welcome to the gwEm. I'm gwEm. It's been a really long time since I did a pedal comparison using the TB303, but tonight is going to be a return to that concept. So I've got a JHS pedals pack rat. Now that's a bit like their big muff pedal that I reviewed on the channel earlier. So it's got 9 rat circuits. Now we all know that the Rat is one of those pedals that sounds really good with the 303, so I'm super excited to try the 9 different varieties of Rat, and I'm going to give you my live, unbiased reaction. Let's go. My OG 303 going through the JHS pack rat into this mixer and then into the video camera. We'll start by playing the 303 clean without any type of distortion. So good. This has 9 modes. We'll start with the first one, which is the OG mode, which is the original rat. Now this thing has 4 controls: volume, distortion, filter, and the type of rat. I'll modify the filter and the distortion and play around with the 303. There's plenty of good settings there, that's for sure. This is the first model, the OG. So now we'll go on to the white rat mode, which is meant to be exactly the same as the OG, but with the filter control reversed. That sounds really good as well. I found the filter control a bit easier actually with it reversed. Let's go on to the next one. You probably heard that when we max out the distortion it kind of breaks up. It's better to have the distortion a bit lower. But so far both modes are really good, although they kind of sound very similar. This next one is the Turbo Rat, which is with LEDs for the clipping diodes. That mode is louder, it has more output, and it kind of sounds fatter as well. That's probably my favorite mode so far. Let's try the Brat. That's very usable. It sounds a bit more trashy than the turbo mode. Very usable. All of these are kind of sounding very similar to each other, which isn't a great surprise, seeing as, you know, they're all based on types of rat pedal. I felt like on guitar there was a bit more difference between the modes. Anyway, let's go on to the You Dirty Rat. very fat sounding, surprisingly. I don't like that one so much. Let's try the LA model. That's definitely my favorite mode so far. Very fat sounding and like a nice range of controls with the distortion and filter. Let's go on to the graph mode. The accent comes through really well on that mode, otherwise there's nothing too remarkable about that one. Let's try this mode, which is like a funny propeller sort of symbol. Yeah, that's not bad. So the final mode is the JHS mode itself. That's probably the most different sounding mode. Actually, on guitar I found the JHS mode was the most different sounding mode. I didn't honestly like the JHS mode on guitar. It was a bit too fuzzy, but it works really nicely with the 303. And what I also like about that JHS mode is the filter control. The way it's dialed in is extremely usable. Like every setting on there was good, whereas the others kind of had a more of a sweet spot. Let's have a think about this. I'll see you back in a moment for some conclusions. The JHS Pack Rat, what do I think? Well, all the modes, they did all sound really good, but I also thought that they all sounded quite a lot like each other. On guitar, each of the modes has more of a discernible character, but with the 303, they all kind of sound a lot like each other. There were a few standout modes. I think my favourite was the LA mode and the JHS mode. For 303, would I recommend a Pack Rat? The answer is no. I would recommend just buying a plain old standard Rat from Proco, just because all the modes did sound a lot like each other and I don't think you'd get the value out the pedal. Now, on guitar, that's a very different story. All the 9 modes do have a different character, so if you're using it for guitar as well, it probably is worth it. It's a very good pedal for guitar. 303, it's overkill. I hope you enjoyed this little examination into the JHS Pack Rat. Like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in another video soon. Take care.